Hey sweet soul, how are you? How was your week? I hope you're doing well. I have an exciting week coming up. I am going to visit the girl for the week next week, this week, since it's Sunday, today, this week. So I am doing a-okay. My idea for today was, well, see, your girl is a Libra, and if you know anything about Libras, you know they're indecisive. Had the Libra-ness and the healing from trauma thing all up, and what do we have? We have the world's worst decision maker. And so I thought that I would find a fun way to help me choose the next book I want to read. I actually got this idea from Jack Edwards, or Jack in the Books. If you can hear the motorcycles outside, nothing I can do about it. Sorry, man. Jack Edwards does, I think he's done it a couple of times now. He's done videos where he reads the first sentence or the first paragraph in a book and then he ranks them. So I thought I would add a little twist to it and decide which book I'm going to read based on the last sentence, or in my case, more likely the last paragraph, because I don't think one sentence is enough. So I've got a stack of books here, and we're going to together read the last paragraph, and I'll rank them, and whichever one ends up on top, I'll be the one that I read next. I just quickly wanted to add in a disclaimer here that because of the nature of this video, and because I am reading the last paragraphs of these books, we might get into spoilery territory. I would suggest maybe if you don't want to know the spoilers, if you don't want to know the last paragraphs to these books, maybe skip this video. It's fine. It's cool. You can go ahead and skip it if you'd like. It's fine. I really do hope you stick around because I think this is going to be fun. And it's only the last paragraph. It's not giving up that much. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. I'm just going to take the first one off the top of the stack, which is The Five Wounds by Kirstin, Valdez, Quade. I ended up getting this book because Allison Pages recommended it in one of her videos. I think it was like one of her top favorite books of last year. And so I picked it up for that reason. I'll go ahead and read the back for you. It says, Holy Week in the small town of Las Piñas, New Mexico, where 15-year-old Angel shows up pregnant on her father Amadio's doorstep and disrupts his plans for personal redemption. Over the baby's first year, 5 generations of the Padilla family converge. Amadio's mother, Yolanda, reeling from a recent discovery, Angel's mother, Marissa, whom Angel isn't speaking to, and a disapproving Tio Tiev, keeper of the family's history. Sheathed in sunset layers of northern New Mexico landscape, The Five Wounds is a propulsive, immersive story that reckons wisely with the real cost of redemption. So, let's figure out what the last sentence is, or the last paragraph. The hermanos are tiny at this distance, like toys, like distant figures in a painting. The cross rises, tips one way, then another, settles upright. The figures cluster around it. Look, baby. Connor does not follow his mother's finger. He is transfixed by her expression, his own face awash in wonder. I think that's pretty average. It'll probably end up, in the middle or towards the bottom. But it's only the first book, so we'll have to see. The next book on the list is Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashardoust. Melissa Bashardoust. I picked this up because Alexandria Roseland talked about it in one of her videos. I really love retellings, and this is a retelling of Snow White, according to what I know. I don't know much. But make it sapphic. So, your girl is here for it. And the last sentence in this one is, And as they walked back from the garden together, hand in hand, Lynette knew that this would be their legacy, the story they had chosen. Two girls made of snow and glass who were more than their origins, two queens who had come together to reshape their world. This is pretty good. The sapphic vibes, the queen vibes, the women in positions of power vibes. I'm here for it. This one is going above the 5 moons. Next on the list is Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. This was recommended to me on Amazon, and because I watched the movie All the Bright Places, I didn't read the book, but I watched the movie. And when I seen that it was by the same author, I decided that I would pick it up and give it a go. So the blurb on the back of this book says, Libby is the girl whose name everyone knows, but no one really sees her except Jack. Jack is the guy who's friends with everyone, but he doesn't let anyone in except Libby. The two make an unlikely pair, and yet they just might be able to change each other's worlds. The last paragraph reads, She covers her mouth with one hand, but her eyes are shiny. I'm thinking about a field of grass on a summer day. I'm thinking about the sun and being warm from the inside and being warm from the outside. I take her hand under the gray blue sky, and I am home. That's really good. It gets me right in my heart. It makes me feel things. It's a little bit poetic. Yeah. This one's going on top. Next in the pile, we have My Best Friend's Exorcism, which was another recommendation, but this time by my partner. And she knows me pretty well. The books she recommends for me are usually spot on recommendations. So I'm excited to read this. Let's see how it ranks. The back of the book says, high school sophomores Abby and Gretchen have been best friends since 4th grade. But after an evening of skinny dipping goes disastrously wrong, Gretchen begins to act different. She's moody, she's irritable, and bizarre incidences keep happening whenever she's nearby. Abby's investigation leads her to some startling discoveries, and by the time their story reaches its terrifying conclusion, the fate of Abby and Gretchen will be determined by a single question. Is their friendship powerful enough to beat the devil? Like an unholy hybrid of Beaches and Exorcist, My Best Friend's Exorcism blends teen angst, adolescent drama, unspeakable horrors, and a mix of 80s pop songs into a pulse-pounding supernatural thriller. So here we go. The last paragraph of this book says, Abby Rivers and Gretchen Lang were best friends on and off for 75 years, and there aren't many people who can say that. They weren't perfect. They didn't always get along. They screwed up. They acted like assholes. They fought. They fell out. They patched things up. They drove each other crazy, and they didn't make it to Hallie's comment. But they tried. I think this one is pretty good, but I don't think I like it as much as either Holding Up the Universe and Girls Made of Snow and Glass. I'm going to put it between Girls Made of Snow and Glass and The 5 Wounds. Not weak, but it's not as strong as the two on top right now. So we're going to go ahead and put it in between those two. Our second to last book is An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. She is a author that I have read before and I did enjoy. So I decided to pick this up because I know it's an author that I already like. This is what the back of the book has to say. Aster has little to offer folks in the way of rebuttal when they call her ogre and freak. She's used to the names. She only wishes there was more truth to them. If she were truly a monster, she'd be powerful enough to tear down the walls around her until nothing remains of her world. Aster lives in the low-deck slums of the HSS Matilda, a space vessel organized much like the antebellum South. For generations, Matilda has ferried the last of humanity to a mythical promised land. On its way, the ship's leaders have imposed harsh moral restrictions and deep indignities on dark-skinned sharecroppers like Aster. Embroiled in a grudge with a brutal overseer, Aster learns there may be a way to improve her lot. if she's willing to sow the seeds of civil war. This sounds right up my alley. It deals with colorism, class issues, it's sci-fi. I'm here for it. The last paragraph is this. She felt sentimental. She felt superstitious. She felt like she could cry and catch her tears in a magic vial. Pour the tears over Giselle's face and resurrect her. But Asta was too dehydrated to weep. And even if she weren't, the water would do nothing but wet Giselle's dead, indifferent face, then evaporate. Repositioning Giselle's fingers so they were interlaced with her own, Asta rested beside her. Water was not good for such times as this, insubstantial as it was. But dirt would do. They were sheathed. Ooh, ooh, that one's deep and it hits hard. Ooh, ooh. I think that I'm gonna put this one. Let me read the last paragraph of Holding Up the Universe again. I think that Unkindness of Ghost and Holding Up the Universe, they both are really good. The last paragraphs are really good. I am going to keep Holding Up the Universe on top. It's close, but I'm going to keep Holding Up the Universe on top because this one's a little more, Unkindness of Ghosts is a little more bleak, a little more depressing. This is a little happier, and I'm all about the hopeful, positive, good vibes. The last book we have here is We Deserve Monuments by Jazz Hammonds. I actually picked this up because I was looking for books that I could read during Black History Month. I didn't end up reading it during Black History Month. I didn't know anything about it when I picked it up, but I thought that the cover is absolutely beautiful. It's got a black girl on it. I had to, right? I had to pick it up. The inside cover reads, "What's more important, knowing the truth or keeping the peace?" When her family moves to Bardell, Georgia, on the cusp of her senior year, Avery Anderson is uprooted from D.C. and thrust into the hostile home of her terminally ill grandmother, Mama Letty. The tension between Avery's mom and Mama Letty makes for a frosty arrival, and reveals a decades-old conflict they refuse to talk about. Every time Avery tries to look deeper, she's turned away, leaving her desperate to unearth the secrets that divide her family. While tempers flare at home, Avery finds friendship in unexpected places. With Simone Cole, her captivating next-door neighbor, and Jade Oliver, a member of the town's most prominent family, whose mother's murder remains unsolved. As the three girls grow closer and Avery and Simone's friendship blossoms into romance, the sharp-edged opinions of their small southern town begin to hint at something insidious underneath. Avery soon discovers her family's roots are deeply entwined with Bardell's racist past. With Mama Letty's health dwindling every day, Avery must decide if digging for the truth is worth toppling the delicate relationships she's built, or if some things are better left buried. Here we have the last paragraph of this book. Letty sat in her car and waited in the dark for hours. For what, she wasn't sure. God, justice, relief, the red and blue lights of a cop car. Or maybe she was waiting for someone to cross the frosted dead winter grass and knock on her foggy window so she could write her testament in the condensation, telling whoever wanted to witness, see me, see me, see me. Oh boy. I don't know why I thought this was going to be easy for an indecisive person like me, because they are all good. But I don't think this is good. It's good. See me, see me, see me. That's good. But I don't find it as intriguing as the two that we already have on top. I'm putting this one under An Unkindness of Ghosts. Here we have it. Here's our stack. And Holding Up the Universe will be the book that I read next. So, humans and extraterrestrials, that'll do it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it was fun. I hope that your week went well, that your coming week goes even better. Let me know how you're doing down in the comments. I genuinely want to know. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, feel free to give it a thumbs down. We're all about honesty here. Honesty and authenticity. That's what we're about. So if you didn't like it, don't like it. Subscribe if you want to come along on my reading journey, and I will see y'all in the next one. The next book on the list is Girls Made of Glass and Snow